Welcome back, everybody. And when we left off last time, we had probably the most disappointing war that I've ever seen. The Lannisters declared war on the Tyrells, and all that happened is the Tyrells took Bronzegate and Cornfield away and then decimated a huge portion of the Lannister army. Then they made peace, so not a great move overall. Then after that, they both declared war on Dorne together. Dorne made a few gains early on, but now starting to lose them again as the Tyrells close the noose around the neck of Dorne. And the size of this army in the south is going to easily be able to sweep over Dornish lands, so that is going to be interesting. Over in the east, the Dothraki almost exclusively hold this territory now. There are a couple of city-states left, and a couple of cities from the Lannisters and the Tyrells. In fact, a little bit of a... Lannisters making a little bit of a colony over here. 3 cities, and then up in the north as well, they also have 3 cities. And Mance Rayder, in the last video, declared war on the Tyrells. And it's going to be interesting to see if they can take Old Oak. Well, it's not going to be interesting. They're going to take Old Oak. It's just going to be a question of how quickly they can do it. These war mammoths and these battering rams are great for taking down cities. Absolutely great. The only downside to Mance Rayder is the fact that he goes last out of everybody. And it looks like Old Oak is going to survive for at least one more turn. But once that's fallen, I can really see him only going one way, which is going to be against the Ironborn, the ones who snuck away Deepwood Moat and Winterfell. And look at this. Tywin has declared war on Balon Greyjoy. And again, that is going to be an interesting move, because Balon Greyjoy is well poised to take these 3 small towns, and maybe even some larger towns. Although Tywin does have some army up north, he's got nothing at the Twins, and the Twins is really what borders Balon Greyjoy right now. Although he does have a huge fleet. Although, where is that fleet? I think that fleet is in the south at the moment. Yeah, it's in the south fighting against the Martells. Oh, and this is going to be interesting. Who's going to sneak Bainfort away? It used to belong to the Lannisters. Actually, I think the Lannisters are going to be able to retake this unless these Reach-landed Knights can embark into the city directly. I think the Lannisters are going to retake this one. They do indeed. They retake their town and maintain the #1 spot. And with the retaking of Stonehelm by the Tyrells, they've moved back into 2nd place. And with the taking of Hellholt, look how quickly these towns are falling to the might of the Tyrells. And I feel a little bit... It's a little bit of a shame that the Ironborn haven't done slightly better, because they were my pick at the beginning. But they did manage to sneak away Winterfell and Deepwood Moat. Let me know in the comment section below, guys, what your pick was at the beginning, and whether you've had to change that, or whether you still think your pick is in a position to win. I mean, definitely anybody from the top 4, Tywin, Drogo, Olenna, or Mance, any of those 4 could definitely win it. I would have said the same about Dorne if they managed to get a sneak attack earlier on, but it looks now like they are for the chopping block. So, and Balon Greyjoy, if he conducts this war against the Lannisters well, he could seize himself a lot of power. This is really the turning point here. This point here. This war with the Lannisters is going to let us know whether the Greyjoys are going to be in with a chance of winning, or whether they're just going to be... whether they're just going to fall by the wayside. If he can grab some power away from Tywin, raise his score up to about 1,400, he'll still be in with a shout of winning this one. If not, if he gets absolutely destroyed by the Lannisters, then that's going to be all she wrote for the Greyjoys, and that may push the Lannisters over the top into a game-winning position. Because while they're in the #1 spot, they are definitely not so powerful that they're going to run away with this one. By no means whatsoever. I mean, you have to think, Mance Rayder was about 500 points behind a few videos ago, and now he is well secured in 4th place, with his eyes fixed firmly on 3rd on the Tyrells. Although he can't make war directly with the Tyrells, because of the geographical distance, he could definitely make war on the Ironborn and take away a lot of their stuff. There's a whole bunch of city-state wars being declared now. Dothraki, I don't think they've made peace with Stannis Baratheon, but they're not pushing the issue anymore. And who is that? The Dreadfort has declared war on everybody. I'm surprised the Dreadfort's still around, to be honest. I'm surprised Mance Rayder hasn't taken that one away. Quite a nice city as well. Well defended, well populated. That's probably why he hasn't taken it. And here we go. The Vale attempting the rebuilding process. Founding another city. But is it just going to be more chaff for the field? Is it just going to be more meat for the meat grinder in the end? So Tywin, Lannister and Olenna have declared a friendship. And look at that. How quickly... Oh, that was unexpected. I saw it flash up that Dorne has lost their capital, and I thought, wow, the Tyrells have made it to Sunspear already. But no, the Lannisters have taken Sunspear and linked that up with Tyrosh. Wow, that has put the Lannisters in a strong position now. A very, very strong position. Although it is, like I said, it's hooked up with Deepden, Hornvale and Tyrosh, but it's still quite far from their other forces. If they can take Ghost Hill as well, while the Tyrells move on God's Grace, I think it would definitely be better. But the writing is definitely on the wall for Dorne. Could they be the fourth great house to be eliminated? We've already had the Targaryens eliminated, the Starks eliminated, and one of the Baratheons eliminated. I suppose we can't really count the Baratheons as being a great house eliminated, because we still have Stannis. Stannis is still stubbornly hanging on. The Vale has now made peace with the Ironborn, but look at this, Tywin's grabbed away Heartsholme. He's still not really got any forces around the Twins, but the Ironborn not moving south from Red Harbour. It looks like they're actually focusing on the forces on the towns up north, just like I was talking about earlier. They've been able to take away Feast Fires. They're now working on Silver Hill, although they may have just lost their melee unit to be able to take Silver Hill. And then they may... Nope, there we go. Take Silver Hill as well. And then may move on Castamere also. So while Balon isn't conducting the war great, he's also not doing a bad job either. Retakes Heartsholme as well. But the question is, for how long is that one going to stand? Mance Rayder as well. Mance Rayder needs to get a move on now, to be honest. If Mance Rayder doesn't declare war on the Ironborn within the next 10 turns, he's probably not going to be in with a chance of winning anymore. The top three are starting to pull away because of strategic wars. And here we go. God's Grace has fallen already to the Tyrells. And they are moving lots and lots of land units in towards Ghost Hill. They are probably going to take Ghost Hill, which would be a shame, to be honest. If the Lannisters could take Ghost Hill, it would link up Banefort, Deepden, Tyrosh and Sunspear together. But it looks like, there we go, the Reach takes just Ghost Hill, despite the fact that the Lannisters did a lot of the work there. And there we go. The Martells have been wiped off the map. They are the fourth great house to be eliminated. As a quick recap, that leaves us with the Lannisters, the Tyrells, the Horse Lords, the Dothraki, the Wildlings, the Greyjoys, the Vale, Baelish, and the Baratheons with Stannis. But to be honest, I think it's only position 1, 2, 3, or 4 that are probably going to be able to get a victory out of this one, unless Balon Greyjoy or Peter Baelish come up with some kind of genius sneak attack. And like I said, Mance Rayder's only got about 10 turns to declare war and seize some power for himself, or he's going to be in a difficult situation. There's no way the Lannisters are going to be able to defend against these. Going to be able to retake these cities here. They have retaken Heartsholme. Now they're moving on towards Red Harbour. Is this going to be a war to try and end the Ironborn? They're going to have to get some of their fleet from the west and definitely in the south to come back around and try and lay waste to the Iron Islands. Still holding King's Landing. They've held King's Landing for the entire game, and I'll be honest, I simulated this battle a couple of times before I recorded the video, just to make sure it didn't, you know, get to turn 300 and then just all fall apart into some ridiculous stalemate. And every single time, King's Landing fell within the first 100 turns to somebody and then changed hands. Like 2 or 3 times by this point. But the Lannisters have done a great job of holding on to it. They almost lost it to the Tyrells when they made that stupid war. I may have declared friendship with someone by accident. So the border between the Tyrells and the Lannisters looking very nice now. Who was it who declared that war? Peter Baelish has declared war on the Ironborn. Although, to be honest, he's got to go through Lannister lands to be able to get to him. A smarter war would have been Stannis Baratheon, because he's still a lot more powerful than Stannis. Well, we'll see if anything comes of this war. It's not a war. It's not a proximity war, so I don't expect anything to come of it. Mance Rayder's settling a weird little city up here on the snow. It's all for the numbers. So it looks like Khal Drogo and Elena Tyrell battling for second place right now. It's changing often. But the Lannisters in an unassailable position right now in first. And I'm surprised the Dothraki have allowed this little Lannister colony to survive. Well, it's the same as this Tyrell colony. They were at war with the Tyrells, and they've just allowed Red Lake to survive. Wow. They founded Sun House over here, and did Mance Rayder take that? That doesn't seem like a wildling name. Did they get that for making peace? Did they even make peace? I did not notice that. So wow, Mance Rayder doing great work. Well, the Dothraki, you've got to be careful here. People are founding cities kind of within their territory. And if they're not careful, they're going to get invaded from the inside. Well, I mean, the Tyrells tried it at Ashford and just got absolutely obliterated by the Horde. And they basically just called the Horde, and one Dothraki blood rider from every city came forth. But because there's a lot of cities, that was a lot of Dothraki blood riders. Looks like they're positioning. They're starting to move to the west. And it looks like Tywin Lannister might be a little bit stalled out at the moment in this war. No. Looks like he's about to take Moor Cailin. And this could be interesting. If he manages to take Moor Cailin, that's going to put a lot of pressure on Mance Rayder. Mance Rayder's got a decent-sized army. He's just not doing anything with it. Which is surprising. Although, to be honest, I don't know if I've seen Mance Rayder declare... Oh, yes, he did. He declared war against the Dothraki. I was wondering if he had actually declared a single war in this. Obviously, they started war with the Starks, but I don't know if I'd actually seen them declare a single war. But obviously, Moorkillen falls. Twins and Heartsholme both safe and secure. Hammerhorn was taking fire, but the Lannisters not able to do anything with that. Their fleet in the west kind of just stalled out. The fleet in the south kind of staying south to try and defend, if need be. And Lorath is now falling to the Dothraki. And they are firmly in second place now with their eyes focused on first. Not sure what the horn was. Somebody sounding the horn of winter there, maybe. But the wall's already come crashing down long ago. So I'm not really sure. Everybody making peace with the Dreadfort. And the Vale are doing their best to try and recover. Stannis Baratheon's now made peace with Peter Baelish. And as payment, he's given him back Iron Oaks. Which is very interesting. I did not expect that. Now the Dothraki are amassing on the border with Essos and Westeros. The Lannisters have just got little parcels of land spread out amongst the realm. I mean, the Tyrells will be happy to redistribute some of that. And it looks like the Greyjoys have not conducted themselves in this war very well, as they are losing ground. Red Harbour is now under siege. Probably going to fall. There we go. It'll be interesting to see when Tywin Lannister goes for peace. I guess it just depends what the Greyjoys offer. Because they have a huge fleet now around Pike. Although again, there are only 3 sea tiles and 3 land tiles with which you can situate yourself to attack Pike. And look at that, the Dreadfort declaring war again. The Dreadfort just wants to be at war. It can't not be at war. Looks like Red Harbour is going to stay in Lannister hands once their army sweeps on by. Although White Harbour could be in trouble. And White Harbour is quite the city. 40 defence and 15 population. If the Ironborn are able to take that away, that's going to be great. And you know what? It's been 10 turns and Mance Rayder has not declared war on anybody. I have a feeling that this one is starting to slip away from him. He's now 400 points away from the number 1 spot. And look at that. White Harbour falls and that wrecks Tywin's score. For the first time in the game, I think, Tywin Lannister is not in first place. And Khal Drogo of the Dothraki is in first place. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows in this war in the north. I think what could be a smart thing from Mance Rayder is wait for the Lannisters to mop up the Ironborn here and then declare war on the Lannisters and retake everything they've just taken. Because this is a huge army. If Elena Tyrell chose this moment now, oh wow, she is moving forces into Lannister lands, although they are friends. So that she could just be headed to try and take on the Ironborn as well. 10 towers actually taking a lot of fire. combined from the Lannisters and the Tyrells. It looks like that's probably what she's doing with these forces. Otherwise, it's going to be a sneak attack, which would be hilarious if they moved a huge force north, looking like they're going for the Ironborn, and then just backstabbing the Lannisters. It would serve them right, to be honest. And there we go. The war in the north is going well, but I think the Ironborn are going to be able to take more kill, and I think there's going to be a kind of a switch around. I think the Lannisters are going to be at least going to attack. There we go. 10 Towers falls, but it falls to the Tyrells, not to the Lannisters. That is interesting indeed. I think what could happen here is the Ironborn could get screwed over in their starting area and then fall back to Deepwood Moat, Winterfell, White Harbour and Moor Kill, and kind of switch places with Robb Stark, which would be interesting. But we're going to have to take a break right there. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. In the next video, we're going to find out whether Lannisters can take away the remaining cities in the north from the Ironborn. I'm going to see whether the Ironborn can hang on by a thread, and see if Mance Rayder can finally pluck up the courage to declare war on somebody and get his Juggernaut army rolling again. So thanks very much for watching, everybody, and I will catch you next time.